India's remains eternal. The future belongs to those who prepare for it, said Malcolm X. Today, we explore the world of Indian economics through the eyes of two visionary thinkers, Mahatma Gandhi, whose principles shaped modern India, and Dr. Raghuram Rajan, a key architect of today's economical landscape.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to our conversation and I'm really excited.
Now, let's dive deep into today's topic and reimagine India's economic future. Gandhiji, you viewed the charkha as a symbol of India's economic self-sufficiency and self-reliance. But how does this metaphor apply to the current economic landscape?
Envision our economy as a charkha, where each thread symbolizes a different sector, be it agriculture, industries, or manufacturing. For the charkha to work smoothly, each thread must be strong and well integrated. Today, the challenge is that these modern advancements enhance rather than disrupt the balance.
That's a compelling metaphor, Gandhiji. But how do we know that these newly spun threads are not overshadowing the traditional ones? Could this impact the economy, Dr. Rajan?
No, I don't think so. Technology should act as an enhancement, not a replacement. Just as the charkha spins new threads without discarding the old ones, our economic policies should weave modern innovations into the existing framework without neglecting the traditional ones.
Gandhiji, your Swadeshi movement was like planting seeds for India's independence. As we now embrace Make in India, how do you see its evolution?
Make in India is the tree that has grown from the seed of Swadeshi, expanding its branches into modern manufacturing, creating jobs, increasing the growth of our economy, and bringing us at par with the developed nations.
Dr. Rajan, imagine Manrega as a charkha spinning threads of opportunity for employment across rural India. How do you see its impact on the rural economy?
Indeed, Manrega is like a charkha weaving fabric of employment and self-reliance. It is useful for empowering rural economy and sustainable growth.
Great insights! And just to add some visual flavor, let's pull up a graph showing Manrega's impact on the Indian economy. Gandhiji, is this what you had in mind?
Ah, a visual aid. I always knew. Numbers could be as enlightening as a well-spun yarn.
Dr. Rajan, GDP growth is often the brightest spotlight in our economic sector. Yet, how should we interpret this spotlight in the context of India's overall economic health?
Indeed, GDP growth is the spotlight, but we must also consider the shadow it casts. Growth should not merely shine for a few, but it must illuminate the path for all citizens.
But Dr. Rajan, how can we ensure that this spotlight does not blind us to inequality?
Think GDP growth as a plant. As a plant height shows progress, the soil and the distribution of nutrients determine its overall success.
That was a fantastic look into the world of economics. Now let's switch gears and move to a completely different segment, the Speedy Showlight, in which I will give you both a word and you will have to say the first thing that comes to your mind. So, are you both ready? First, Dr. Rajan.
Sure, let's do it.
E-commerce.
FMCG.
India's future.
Economics.
Money.
Renewable energy.
Now Gandhiji, it's your turn. Make in India.
Swadeshi.
Manufacturing sector.
Tapping India's youth.
Tourism.
Atiti Devo Bhava.
Wonderful. Now a final word for the both of you. Future.
Technology.
hope.
That was fantastic. Thank you both for playing along with us. It was fascinating to see different perspectives. Now, moving on to the next question. Gandhiji, how do you see the relationship between education and economic development?
Education is the cornerstone of our economic edifice. Each lesson a brick that fortifies our future, creating a resilient structure for our growth and prosperity.
That was fantastic. You have such great insights, Gandhiji. Dr. Rajan, it is the age of AI, and AI is revolutionizing agriculture. How do you see its impact on the rural economy?
Yes, AI is revolutionizing agriculture. IT sectors of India are working upon agri-bots which are increasing rural economy and boosting rural communities.
That was great. Thank you for your insights. Gandhiji, we have something interesting for you. Dear audience, this is an AI-generated image of Gandhiji.
I wonder what you are doing, Gandhiji.
I guess I'm having a great time with the Gen Z. But don't you have anything for Dr. Rajan?
Of course, Gandhiji, your wish is my command. Dear audience, this is an AI-generated image of a new avatar of Dr. Rajan.
Dr. Rajan wearing dhoti and kurta and spinning wheel.
As we move to the final page of today's discussion, I would like to ask my esteemed guests a final question. Gandhiji, what is your vision for India's economic future?
India as a nation that values simplicity and self-reliance.
And Dr. Rajan, what is your vision?
My dream for India is a country which is innovative, inclusive and resilient.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. As we turn to the final page of today's discussion, I would like to present our guests with our own khadi stoles and scarves, for which we have gotten a bulk order from the USA. Thank you for being a part of this inspiring journey.
Hello everyone. Here at Green Economy India's Tomorrow we discuss, we debate, we dissent and provide a spotlight to myriad issues. A radiant morning to my lovely audience. I, Barkhada, am back today with another nail-biting discussion. The topic for our discussion is Reimagining India's Economic Future. So our first guest speaker is the visionary, the inspiring, the courageous and the dynamic Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So please join me in welcoming Netaji. Now second on our list, but always first on the list of economists, we have the Nobel laureate, one and only Mr. Amartya Sen. Welcome gentlemen.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be a part of this discussion.
Please have your seats. It's a pleasure to have you gentlemen. Let's start with our discussion. So my very first question to you Netaji is how do you think India's economic future should be reimagined?
If I were given a chance to reimagine India's economic future, my primary focus would be on self-reliance and equitable development. During the freedom struggle, my vision for India was to not only be politically independent, but also economically self-sufficient. We must produce what we need and consume what we produce, and one must remember that Swadeshi is not merely a sentiment, but an economic necessity.
Well said Mr. Bose. Professor Sen, what are your thoughts on Mr. Bose's vision of self-reliance and equitable development?
You see, Barkha, I deeply respect Mr. Bose's emphasis on self-reliance. However, in today's globalized world, self-reliance self-reliance must be accompanied with international cooperation. We should focus on enhancing human capabilities through education and healthcare, ensuring that every individual has the opportunity to contribute to and benefit from the economic growth.
Surely, engagement with global economy is necessary to bring honest opportunities for growth. Now, Mr. Bose, how do you think we can balance this self-reliance with global cooperation?
It's a delicate balance. While we must protect our strategic industries and ensure that the critical sectors are not overly dependent on foreign entities, we should also seek beneficial partnerships. This means negotiating trade deals that favor our economic interests, leading to skill development within the country.
I agree. Technological development is essential for the country. Now, Professor Singh, what are your opinions on technological development and role of education?
I believe that education and healthcare are foundational. They enhance human capabilities which are essential for economic development. An educated and healthy workforce is more productive, innovative, and capable of adapting to new technologies and industries. Additionally, improving these areas can help reduce inequality and provide everyone with the means to improve their living standards.
Indeed, inequality is a pressing issue these days. Now, Mr. Bose, what are your views in tackling the issue of economic inequality?
See, economic inequality can be addressed by ensuring that our development policies are inclusive. This means land reforms to provide farmers with secure tenure, labor reforms to protect workers' rights, and social policies that provide a safety net for the underprivileged. We must also focus on decentralized economic planning, empowering local communities to take charge of their development.
Talking about decentralization, Professor Singh, do you think decentralization is the key to address India's inequality?
Well, I acknowledge the potential challenges of decentralization, such as the risking of exuberating inequalities if local elites capture resources, or if there is a lack of capability at the local level. I believe that careful design and implementation is necessary to ensure that decentralization leads to genuine improvement in welfare and equity.
Thank you for your views, gentlemen. Now, before moving forward with our discussion, there is a video which I would like you to watch. Let us have a quick look. Can you please have the video? So, Mr. Bose, what is the first thing that comes to your mind after seeing this video?
Yes, poverty. The big bang issue is addressed here. And this is the central problem. If this cannot be solved, all our paper schemes of reconstruction, industrialization, and social amelioration will come to nothing. We have to provide our people with better conditions of life, better conditions of work, and better wages. This means a radical change in our present system of production and distribution of wealth.
Surely, radical reform of our land system, including abolition of landlordism, is necessary to eradicate poverty. Now, Professor Singh, what are your thoughts in context of this video?
You see, poverty is not just a lack of money. It is not having the capability to realize one's full potential as a human being. The lack of substantial freedoms to lead the kind of life one has reason to value often links closely with the lack of economic means.
Let us look at the screen once again, gentlemen. Looking at the graph, what kind of economy should India have if we were to imagine India's economic future?
Well, my vision for India has always been for a socialist economy. Socialism in its essence aims at the equitable distribution of wealth and resources, which aligns with our goal of achieving social justice. We need to create an economic system that prioritizes the welfare of its masses, addresses the stark inequalities present in our society, and ensures that every individual has the opportunity to live with dignity and prosperity.
And you, Mr. Singh, do you agree with Netaji?
With all due respect, Mr. Bose, I appreciate your opinion, but I believe in the system of a mixed economy, which offers the flexibility to adapt and address various social and economic challenges. A balanced approach that includes both market mechanisms inequalities.
Thank you for your views, gentlemen. What an incredible show we have witnessed today. And this is a never-ending debate. We've had the privilege of hearing from two towering figures, one who shaped our nation's history and the other who has influenced the world's understanding of economics and philosophy. And to our wonderful audience, thank you for joining us in this journey. I hope this conversation has inspired you to think, question, and engage with the world around you. Until next time, remember that the strength of our nation lies in the dreams and the wisdom to pursue those dreams and determination. Thank you, everyone. His favorite host, Bhagavati Tiwari from his FCTV, presenting before you our Independence Day special talk show, Reimagining India, Future Economic Reforms. Welcome, esteemed guests and our viewers. Today, we embark on a journey through time, exploring the evolutions of Indian economy. With us are two luminaries whose thoughts have shaped the nation's destiny. The Nobel laureate, poet, and philosopher Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, and the architect of India's economic reforms, former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. It's an absolute honor to have these titans of intellect with us today, sharing their insights, illuminating our path to a more just, more prosperous future. So please have your seats. You once said, don't admit a child to your own learning, for he was born another time. How do you think we can apply this wisdom to India's economic growth?
My dear host, we must recognize that our economy is not merely a machine, but a living organism. We must nurture it with the spirit of innovation, of creativity, and of social responsibility. We must empower our people, especially our youth, to dream, to experiment, and to create.
Dr. Singh, your economic reforms are lauded for propelling India onto the global stage. How did you bridge the gap between Gurudev's idealistic vision and the practicalities of development?
Gurudev's words hold immense wisdom. We as policy makers strive to translate that vision into concrete action. My focus was in creating an environment that empowered our youth. Liberalization unleashed the true entrepreneurial spirit inherent in Indians, while targeted investments in healthcare and education aim to cultivate a healthy and skilled workforce, the bedrock of any strong economy.
Yet, Dr. Singh, we must not be blind to the pitfalls of unbridled growth. In my travels across the nation, I witnessed the stark contrast, glittering high-rises juxtaposed against the plight of the rural poor. How do we ensure inclusive growth that lifts everyone out of poverty?
A valid concern, Gurudev. We are constantly striving to strike a balance. Our social safety net programs have provided a safety cushion to the most vulnerable. However, the key lies in creating opportunities, not handouts.
Gurudev, while economic growth is essential, you have always emphasized the human aspect of development. How can we ensure that prosperity reaches the grassroots?
True progress is measured not by GDP alone, but by the upliftment of the marginalized. Education, healthcare, and opportunities must reach the remotest corners so that every Indian feels valued. Economic growth without social justice is a hollow victory.
Gurudev's words resonate deeply. Our central aim was inclusive growth. Programs like Manrega have provided a social safety net, while investments in taxation policies have acted as a catalyst in the development.
Yes, that's a crucial point indeed. India grapples with a growing income gap. How can
we ensure that prosperity reaches all the sections of society?
Inequality is a complex issue. The lack of access to education and healthcare perpetuates the cycle of poverty. We have addressed these issues with schemes like Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan and Ayushman Bharat, but a lot remains to be done.
Education, my friend, is the key. An educated farmer can adapt, innovate, and navigate the complexities of the modern market. Our mission should be to create a society where every individual realizes his full potential, break free from the cycle of poverty and oppression, and contribute to a nation's growth.
We are witnessing rapid technological advancements. How can we ensure that these advancements bridge the gap instead of widening it?
Technology is a double-edged sword. It can drive growth, but also pose challenges in many prospects.
Technology can be used to strengthen our inherent talents and entrepreneurial spirit. Remember India's handloom textiles? Once a global marvel, were driven by human ingenuity.
Gurudev and Dr. Singh, your insights offer a fascinating perspective on India's economic journey. How do you see India navigating the complexities of the 21st century? And what message would you like to convey to our future policy makers about shaping India's economic journey?
We must return back to our roots, to our reverence for nature. Sustainable development should be our guiding principle. Technology can be a powerful tool, but it must be harnessed for the betterment of humanity, not its detriment. Our rich cultural heritage can provide us with the resilience to weather these storms.
I completely agree with Gurudev. We are living in a rapidly changing world. India must embrace innovation and technology while preserving its cultural identity. Our demographic dividend could be our greatest strength. By investing in healthcare and education, we can create a knowledge-based economy. Innovative thinking, a commitment to equitable growth, and transparent governance could steer India towards a rich and prosperous future.
Thank you, esteemed guests, for sharing your perception with us today. You have painted a vivid picture of India's economic journey, past, present, and future. Your contributions to India have been invaluable and will always remain a source of inspiration for us and for the future generations. And so, dear friends, we come to an end of this extraordinary conversation. The confluence of two great minds, two towering figures of their times. Let's go forth from this space with a renewed sense of purpose to create a brighter future for all. Thank you.
Welcome to Vision India, where we explore the ideas shaping our nation's future. So here I am, Rita, the goat. Wait, no, not that goat. It's greatest of all times. And I welcome you to another breathtaking episode on how India is reaching heights in its economy. Mind you, India is reaching heights in its economy. Today, as we embark on a journey to explore India's economic future with a focus on sustainability, innovation, and inclusive growth. So let us put our hands together and welcome two visionary guests, the former President of India and a renowned scientist and a well-known missile man of India. Did you guess it? It's right, because it's none other than Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Mr. Abhijit Banerjee, a young entrepreneur and a thought leader in the field of sustainable development. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I'm excited to share my ideas with you all.
Thank you, sir. Please take your seats. Dr.
emphasized the role of innovation in the field of sustainable development. How can this model contribute to India's economic future?
Innovation is indeed the backbone of economic growth. For India, the future lies in harnessing technology to drive progress in agriculture, manufacturing, and services. Our youth are particularly innovative and driven. By investing in education, we can transform India into a knowledge-driven economy. And the key is to create an environment that fosters creativity and risk-taking, allowing their ideas to flourish.
Thank you, Dr. Kalam. Thank you for sharing your views. Mr. Abhijit, what do you think is the role of India in supporting its young innovators?
I believe that supporting young innovators require a multifaceted approach. We need to create more incubation centers and provide access to funding and mentorship. Equally important is the need to reform our educational system to focus on practical skills and creativity rather than rote learning. Encouraging a culture of collaboration and cross-industry partnerships can also lead to breakthroughs.
Thank you, Mr. Abhijit. Thank you for sharing your views. Now let's move on to Dr. Kalam. Dr. Kalam, you have often spoken about Pura providing urban amenities in rural areas as a model for sustainable development. How can this model contribute to India's economic landscape?
Pura means providing urban amenities in rural area. We have in our country 600,000 villages. How many villages? 600,000 villages. Now how are you going to provide prosperity in our villages? That is, you have to give them physical connectivity, you have to give them electronic connectivity, you have to give them knowledge, you have to give them knowledge connectivity. You give electronic, physical and knowledge connectivity so that the economic connectivity and the employment generation will come. What do you say?
Thank you, Dr. Kalam. Thank you for sharing your views. And that is something that sounds promising. Mr. Abhijit, what do you think? Sustainability plays a vital role in reimagining India's economic future, especially in the context of global challenges like climate change.
Sustainability is crucial for long-term economic stability. India must prioritize green technologies and renewable energies to address environmental challenges. By investing in sustainable practices, we not only protect our planet, but also create new industries and job opportunities. Policies that encourage businesses to adopt eco-friendly measures and invest in clean technologies are vital for a resilient economy.
Very insightful, Mr. Abhijit. Thank you for sharing your views. Our economy is like a vast ocean, full of opportunities, but also challenges. Dr. Kalam, what do you think? How can digital transformation and technology aid in transforming India's economic landscape?
Technology and digital transformation are powerful tools for economic empowerment. They can streamline processes, improve efficiency, and increase accessibility to services. For instance, digital platforms can connect farmers with markets, providing them with better prices and reducing wastage. Similarly, e-governance can enhance transparency and efficiency in government operations, benefiting both citizens and businesses alike.
Thank you for that, Dr. Kalam. Mr. Abhijit, what do you think is the role of entrepreneurship in shaping India's economic landscape?
Entrepreneurship is crucial for long-term economic stability. Entrepreneurs bring fresh perspectives and solutions to existing problems, driving economic growth. To nurture entrepreneurship, I think that we should create an environment that reduces bureaucratic hurdles and encourages experimentations. To that, I believe that government and private sector should collaborate to offer resources.
Thank you for that, Mr. Abhijit. Thank you for sharing your views. Precisely, sometimes the best way to predict the future is to create it. as quoted by Dr. Kalam. But that requires a balance between visionary goals and practical steps. As we conclude this enlightening discussion, it's clear that the future of India's economy will be shaped by innovation, inculcation, and indomitable spirit. Dr. Kalam's visionary goals and Mr. Banerjee's insights remind us that the future of India's economy, mind you, is not reaching milestones, but building a society where the citizens thrive. Thank you both for joining us and sharing your valuable ideas. It was indeed a pleasure to have you both here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you to our viewers for watching Vision India. Keep watching Vision India till